Hey folks, it's Steve Novice. I'm back. I'm coming up on Teoma. Slowing down heavily here. I am only a few kilometers from the PvP boundary, getting ready to go in the safe zone. My HUD should turn blue in a second. I'm 1.96 SU from the pipe, so I'm getting close to it, but I'm not too close. And alright, there we are. Now I'm in the safe zone. So I made it from Alioth to Thades in my little ship by staying out of the pipe. I'm still at this point 1.87 SU from the pipe, but doesn't matter. I'm in the safe zone now. So I'm gonna turn around here and try to do an entry onto the planet as soon as I get slowed down enough. This ship is cheap and it's little, and it doesn't have very much in the way of legs. So as far as space brakes go, it does pretty decent though. Got me up to 40,000 kilometers per hour or more on the way here, so that's good stuff. It just takes forever and a day to slow down in the space. It's got decent space atmo brakes though, so that's a good thing, because if you land heavy, it's always good to have good brakes. Good brakes, good wings are kind of essential. I'm only 0.6 SU from going outside the PvP boundary into the PvP space, so I've got to get slowed down before I go out the other side here. No, I'm getting further away. I'm good. I'm good. So just got to slow down here, and I'm going to put my... So if you've got Arch HUD, if you go down to your Lua channel and you type in / and then paste your destination in and hit enter, it loads that temp coordinate up for you. And then you can hit Alt 1 or Alt 2 to, there it is, Alt 2, to get to that. And now that I'm at that, as soon as I get stopped, I will punch in. I did stop and refuel too, by the way, in case you wondered. Put some space fuel in. As soon as I get stopped, I'm going to hit Alt 4. If you look up the top left, Alt 4 is Autopilot to IPH target. So I just entered a target into the interplanetary helper, which is IPH. And I'm stopped, so I'm going to hit Alt 4. And now it took the brake off, and it's going to fly me to that destination. And I will cut out some space in the middle here until we get closer to the planet. When we get close to the planet, I'll probably hit Alt 4 and take the autopilot off and land it that last little bit. The autopilot will land me all the way right at my target, but when it gets you right above it, it seems to me it's more efficient for me to take control and just go straight down, because it'll kind of take a little roundabout route to get there. So I don't want to take that extra time that it takes, and I usually take control when it gets me over it. So we'll keep going here, and autopilot's flying it and I'm not touching anything. And if you look at the right, current braking distance is 17, 18, 19. It's going up fast. So I'm 1.6 SU out. When it gets to the right distance, it'll turn off the engine and hit the brakes. Or I could just turn off the engine now if I wanted to save fuel, but I got enough fuel, and I've got fuel made on the planet, so I'm not at all worried about it. I've got plenty of fuel, plenty available down there. So like I was saying earlier, if you want all the 4 tier 1s, like you're going to make factories and stuff here, you can only mine 2 of them. I don't remember which 2 are here. I have to take a look in the screen here, but I'm not going to do it while I'm flying right now. But you got to surface mine for the rest. But if you're here scanning, that's easy enough to do. So it's not that hard. I want to show you guys the difference too between having all your talents for surface mining versus not having all your talents for surface mining. It's immense. When I made my first videos, I said, yeah, you're not going to do that much surface mining past a certain time. Don't spend the money on it, blah, blah, blah. I'm going to go ahead and shut the engine off, and I am 0.6 SU brake distance. So when I get to 0.6 SU, I hope my brakes come on. If not, I'm not pointed to the planet, so it's not going to hit it, but we'll see what happens. But anyway, we're definitely coming in on Teoma. It's definitely an ice ball. It's got some open water on it, some arid land, not too much. There's the brakes at 0.6. They jumped right on at the exact right time. And if you see the current brake distance is staying ahead of what the distance ahead of us is, but I bet we go past it because this arch hood is not exactly perfect when it calculates stuff. Which is why, if your waypoint is not to the side of the planet and arch hood is going to brake you, I would go ahead and turn the autopilot off and brake a little bit early. Simply because if you're going to run into the planet, if you don't brake in time, why take the chance? So yeah, we're 40. Yeah, see, it miscalculated our brake distance. Yeah, because we're about 25 and it says 30 over there for our current brake distance. So it's about 5 kilometers off. So that waypoint there, when we get to a certain spot, should move down to the planet. When that happens, I'm going to hit Alt F4 and turn off the autopilot and turn the brake on. It's still up there, it's still up there, it's still up there, still up there. Come on. Oh, okay, now it jumped down to the planet. So I'm going to hit Alt 4. I said Alt F4, it's Alt 4. I'm going to hit my brake. Go ahead and slow down all the way. Point down here. Because it put me almost above it. Would the autopilot have landed me? Yes, it would. Do I prefer to land myself? Yes, I do. But you could be AFK and let it do all this itself if you want. So remember, I don't want to really be above 1050 coming into the planet. I actually can go a little faster than that in the ships, but I don't want to push it. So I usually put 1,000 as my limit. Is speed going down. So I'm going to go ahead and shut that off. I got 43 seconds to atmosphere. And I'm building up speed here. So I'm going to left control for arch HUD is the brake. It's also in the regular game too, in the regular HUD. So when I get to about 1,050, I'm going to punch the brake for a few seconds like now and get down to about 900. 13 seconds. I'm going to probably punch the brake one more time. And I did. 4 seconds, 3, 2, 1. I'm going to turn my engine on. Now here's where if I don't catch some forward momentum right away, I'm just going to hit G and brake land. That's the only safe thing to do. That's what I did. I'm hitting G. I'm hoping I stop in time. I'm going pretty fast. But luckily I've got good enough brakes. Now if I'd waited until I was down to like a 1,000 meters, that would have been really bad. Okay, so I'm gonna just go ahead, just safest just to land, and then I'll take off again. So when you go to another planet and you can't get forward momentum going and you can't get that flight going, and especially if you're loaded kind of heavy, like this little craft is loaded pretty heavy for it, right? Don't take any chances. Just land. Now I can take off. Now I'll be fine. I'll go ahead and build up my engines before I turn my brake off. They have to warm up, right? There's actually a talent for that, to warm them up. Now that I got forward momentum, I'm taking my brake off, and I'll move on to the objective here. I could hit all 4 and it would land me right on it. So what is my objective? It's actually my pedalite tiles, or our pedalite tiles. They belong to our org, and we're going to use those to help Chimera out. And get our manufactory up and running and stuff. But it's also where I put the gas station. I call it the Quickie Mart. Because you never know when you might want to stop in for a Slurpee and some space fuel. I'm going to hit my brake now because it takes a few minutes to stop, and I went right past it, but not too far past it. All right, so down there is the Quickie Mart. If you look at the tiles here, this is what we got, right? So I pinned The center tile, I was going to pin all the way around here, but this guy got this one. So I pinned this one. And then after that, somebody got this one too. I don't know. This is Turloki and this is someone else. But these all belong to our org that's going to be feeding ZVET. So I should have that one to get my adjacency bonus. So if I had this one, I would have like a 60% bonus in the center, but he screwed that up. Now I'm only going to get like 30 or 40%. So that kind of sucks. But it is what it is, right? Let me get a little bit closer here. Should have left my brake on for a minute. And that should put us pretty good. Alright. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take all the stuff that's in here and I'm going to put it inside this ship here. How do I get out of here? Oh, there we go. This is a little tour of the ship Kaveen built, the short bus, right? It's got this big old honking space engine, a medium container. It's got these large engines here. So he did some good stuff with luminescent voxel. So this is the yellow luminescent yellow glass. So good stuff. So I've been working on the factory over here. I put a floor in. This is a small core. That's as big as it gets. I have the fuel station set up. Look at that. I got 9,000 liters of space fuel. So I'll be able to fuel us up to head back. If you need nitron fuel out on these outer planets, just pick up ore, turn it into pures in your nanopack. That'll give you the hydrogen and oxygen, and then you can just make your nitron fuel. I actually have some that I think I put in the container here. No, it's in my ship. So I'll probably use. I actually have 33 kiloliters here and 16 kiloliters here. How many is that? And so many liters here. So I'll probably go ahead and fill up the ship before I head back. But for now, I want to take this stuff and put it into this ship because this is the one I'm going to use to scan. And then I want to show you guys real quickly something with surface mining. So I'm going to put that in there and put those in there. Now I got enough to do a whole petal or bloom. You can see I've been making fuel. Here's some right here. I'm going to put some of that in the ship so that I can fill it up. Actually, you know what? I'll put all this in here and I'll just make this my container now. Set it as link container and I'll just go fill that ship up real quickly. Need to link it. I don't know if that's the same fuel I have. Well, I can't go through the window. I got to go in here. And let's see here. Different kind of fuel than what I'm using. Okay. That's no problem. What is it? 1600. Let me go grab some fuel out of here. Well, I'll do that later. Let me turn my sound up just a little bit just to show you guys. Let's go to here. Alright, so this guy has, let's look at our talents. Mining and inventory, surface harvester. Oh, this guy's got good surface harvesting, doesn't he? Well, that's not going to help us any. Because you're gonna see something with good surface harvesting. So let me put him back inside the ship, and we'll log in as another character real quick. All right, so I'm back. I logged in as a different alt. This one has basically no surface harvesting skills, so this is perfect. I wanted to show you this. So if I go to surface harvest, it takes a while, right? It takes a little while, and the higher the tier you go, or the tier 2 here, it takes even longer to harvest the stuff, right? So let me log on as alright, I'm back as another one of my alts, standing on top of the world. And what we're going to do is we're going to head over here to where we just were with that other character. Only this one has some very intense surface mining skills. 85% of everything is done. Tier 5, Tier 5, Tier 5, Tier 4, almost Tier 4. So a lot of skills there, right? So these little rocks, done in a second. Done in a second. I mean, just fast. Tier 2, a few seconds. All right, that's the difference between no skills and pretty high skills. Not max, but pretty high. So just wanted you guys to see that. You could decide whether or not it's worth getting those surface mining skills, but like when you're coming out here at Teoma and Jago, I'm building this entire factory right here by surface mining while I'm scanning, right? So I'm flying around, starting my scanners, getting out of the ship, and just grabbing surface rocks until I get the ship so full I can't really carry anymore. And then I have to come back here and dump them. And while I'm running around, I'm also going here and turning them into pures and parts and all that kind of stuff to help build all the other parts for the factory. Right now I got some parts sitting here that I need to dump into the factory. So I got stuff kicking out right and left that I need to throw in here. So lots of stuff going on. This will be a Chimera refueling station at some point in the future. Right now we're using it just to refuel our scan ships and stuff. Right, so there is definitely a lot of stuff going on. I'm gonna get up here and set this ship up real quick for scanning. Let me set as link container. All right. Here's another cool little thing. Okay, I'm gonna stand right on this. Right, so if I hit C, I hit spacebar, go up. I hit C, I go down. I'm going to jump in the seat. Okay, fly to my next spot. Boom, boom, boom. Hit F, hold it to get out of the seat, and it puts me exactly right back where I was. I just hit spacebar, and I scan. Boop. Hit C, get in the seat, scan, fly, get out. Hit spacebar, go up. I mean, it's just kind of a neat thing. You can even, let's say I get in the seat from here. Let's say I get in the pilot seat from here. Standing on top. When I get out, after I fly it, I'm back up on top. So kind of a cool little thing to help you out. One of you guys mentioned, why didn't I have an elevator in the ship? Well, I just never got around to putting one in, but I put one in, and I absolutely love it, because when I get the ship stopped and stuck, it's a whole lot easier to get out of it. Have you guys ever been in an upside down or sideways ship? The only way to get out is to hit build mode, hit 7, grab some voxel, right? Hit delete, go through it, and then look back at it and hit backspace to undo it, right? That's a good way to get out of a trapped ship. But if you have an elevator, you don't have to do any of that. You just get in your elevator and you're outside. You're good to go. So, unless it's broken, of course. But then you can just go through the voxel like I just showed you. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to move this. I'm going to go hit 9. Actually, I'm going to hit 1. I'm just going to pick it up. It's kind of a laggy today. And then I'm going to hit... let's see here. Where's my scanners? There we go. I'm going to try to put the scanners on here and get them to fit if I can. Kind of over the engine out here. I'll probably start here, work it out. Go up. Am I going through the top? No, I'm not going through the top. Why is it? Oh, yeah, I am. Oh, look at that. All right, so I'm sitting. I actually want to get it as far out as I can get. So we're going to go until it turns red. Go back one. Go all the way to the back. And going to put it right there. And then we're going to do the same thing on this one. Only on the opposite side, obviously. Go up a little. Let's look and see here. I'm not sticking through. I'm not hitting that. So I'm too far out, probably. Yep, I'm sticking through. So I'm going to just go like that. Alright, don't know what's going on here. Let's try to get it where it turns blue for me. Let's bring it in, down. There we go. Now we got blue. Oh, let's go up a little. As far as I can go. Oh, then it turns red. This engine must be higher than the other one. Well, that sucks. That means my ship's not symmetrical. Alright. Well, we're going to have to fix that at some point. Alright, so we got that thing scanning, sitting there. This one is scanning and sitting there, but now it's off a little because the other one's in more. So I'm going to move it a little bit so it kind of matches. Alright, so now when I go to scan, all I got to do is put the little wall that you see right there, split right down the middle of the ship. Boom. Right? So when I go to scan, I'm just going to go like right here, point the nose of the ship like north in this case, this way, and then I'll have a scanner in this tile and a scanner in this tile, and I'll be able to scan them both at once. Okay. So what does that help me? The ore kind of runs in areas. Like this whole area is pedalite, right? So if you look at my scans here, you'll see that this is a pretty decent pedalite tile, right? So it's got pedalite, coal, and hematite. So I could also use coal here. Coal's good for fuel, so I may actually put a tier 1 miner down here at some point. Hematite's good for the factory. Not very much though. I could put one of those small miners here and it would work okay, I guess, but it's kind of a waste of a charge. I can pick up ore just about as fast with my higher skills, so I don't know. We'll have to see. But I'll be able to scan a couple of tiles at once. So when you get out there, I've found a couple places where, you know, let me show you the scan results here. It's kind of hard to see it, but you can see I went down through here, scan, skip, skip, scan, skip, skip, scan, and I did that for ever and a day. If you follow me back this way, which I know it's kind of hard to do, I went a long ways around the planet to get to this point, right? It's not working very well. But when you find ore, you find it, especially the higher tier ores, you find it in little clusters sometimes, right? When I found that tier 4 cryolite tiles, they were very, very small clusters, just a small cluster. And if I had 2 scanners out, I got a bigger chance of hitting the edge of it. So like if let me hit the scan results again. So one of my first scans for this was out here, right? I'm going down through here and I hit nothing. Then I come here and I hit, oh, there's 21 pedalite. Wait, let's go this way. Oh, it got smaller. So I said, okay, let's go left or right. I'll pick this way. And it started getting bigger and bigger, right? And this ended up being kind of the epicenter. I didn't even get to scan it all because, you know, one of the Yahoos, like I said, took this tile after I'd scanned it. So I got this one and this one. And so this is supposed to be my flower. I got this one, right, which I didn't even scan, but it's good too. But I ended up pinning this one, which was 50. Well, this one's 53 also. Okay. So that was good. This is a 46 over here. So there's definitely some good tiles around here. I kind of had to pin in a hurry. I may not have got the best tiles in the area, but I was being bombarded by somebody pinning tiles around me, so I kind of had to go. So that's the way it works when you're scanning out here. So hope this video or these series of videos helps you when you're getting out to the outer planets. They're going to put a lot more planets in later on. There were a lot more planets than this. Right now, if you look at the system map, you've only got Teoma and Jago, which Jago's way over on the other side over there. You've got Thetis, Madison, Alioth, and the moons around them that are in the safe zone. And then these are your 2 PvP planets. Well, there was a whole bunch more PvP planets out here. And so at some point there's going to be... Jago's going to be kind of exciting. It's a jungle water planet. It's mostly water. It's kind of neat. One of our guys flew over there to scan, landed on a wonderful tier 4 cluster. Like literally landed on it. And we pinned a whole cluster of tier 4 over there. I only got 3 good tiles over here on Teoma, but that's good. Tier 4 you don't need as much. So I got 3 pretty good tiles, pretty good producers. So I'm happy with that. I'm looking for, and I got really good pedalite tiles there for tier 3. They're decent. They're not great, but they're decent. And then looking for natron now. So I couldn't find any good natron anywhere else, so I'm looking here, hoping that we can get lucky enough to find the tiles. And guess what? Since we brought 6 more pins over, we're going to be good to go to get set up for that. Now I'm going to use these refiners to refine some of this fuel, so I don't have to use it in my friggin' nano pack, because the only refiner I got right now is feeding my tier 2. I want to use one to feed these factories, and I'm actually producing more refiners and metalwork industries and everything else. So we get all that going, and we should be good to go. So I'm gonna put these in here because they need to be on part of the factory. And I think we're gonna go ahead and call this video, and the next one I will show you how the dual scanning works out, and then maybe the one after that I'll show you guys Jago, and we can see how that works. And oh, by the way, this is my large assembly line I made in this medium assembly line, which I bought from the market here because I didn't want to carry the weight over. But I built this out of strictly nanopack produced items. That's a chore, simply because I want to make large containers, because carrying large containers over here through that PvP hell and risking them in the ship and having a bigger ship to carry all the weight, it's just not worth it. So I'm going to set up and build large containers here. At some point we may offer some large containers to Chimera members here, but since you have to surface mine the ore, it's going to have to be provide schematics, provide ores, and we can hook you up with a container. So it's not going to be just a dispenser where you come over and buy them. I'm sure it's going to have to be a swap, so to speak. So we'll have to figure out how to do that. We want to make sure that people can get stuff at a reasonable rate, because I know if somebody puts containers on the market here, they're going to be selling them for like 800K or more when they're going for like 200K or less out on Alioth, just because they're not any here. Nobody has them. Like if I made my first container and put it on the market here for 800K, I bet it would sell immediately as soon as somebody noticed it. Might be a couple days before somebody noticed it, but I bet it would sell right away. But I'm not going to do that because I need it too. This one container here, this large container, came out of my ship. I had 2 in there. Now I only have 1. Right? So I'm going to probably go back with just the 1 container. Matter of fact, I'll probably take this other large container out, put it down here, and just go back with some small containers, because I don't need to take much back with me. I don't have much to carry back unless I find some natron. If I find some natron, I'll mine as much of that with miners as I can. I do have a miner for those with me. I don't have a tier 3 or tier 4 miner, so I can't take any of that back. But I've got a tier 2 miner, and we can take care of that. So, all right, we're gonna call it. I hope you guys have a good one, and I hope this video has helped you out.